happy this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in early.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local. Live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Get past the people, get past the hitman.
And welcome to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. It's a beautiful Thursday here in Bay County. That means we have Jeremy Pridge and Tommy Santamont. Legendary Thursday. Anytime you get these two people in here. I was at a retirement party last night for Joey Pettis. He's a Panama City Beach Police Department. Just retired. Saw some great police officers there. Aaron Williams was there, one of my former players. He's looking good, Tommy, looking really well. It was great to see all those police people. And as soon as I get there, people talking about Jerry Pridge and Tommy Santamont. And matter of fact, Elizabeth and Bubba go to your church.
How about that? Yeah, Pro Throws. Okay.
Yeah.
Good folks.
I think when I said the name in the phone, it spelled it wrong.
You may have.
Yeah, that's my excuse. I'll keep it with it. Hey, before we get the show going, I got to tell one story. In my computer, I can't pick up anything on the internet, and I'm picking it up on my phone, but not the computer, so it's my computer. And I just spent money getting it fixed, so I'm kind of upset, and I might.
Get some of those new chips.
Julie fixed James's computer.
Julie, get up here. I'm glad Jeremy's here because I would really be
red alert.
Now. Anyway, Elvis Presley. Another story about Elvis. Go see the movie. It's getting ready to go streaming in about 6 days, something like that. I think August. Heck, in about 4 days. I think it's August 8th. But anyway, Tommy, I thought this was you. The story about you, but it wasn't after I read into it because you had told me your experience with Elvis. They were at a concert. He flies in. They had a helicopter take him somewhere. Then a limo picks him up. Limo takes him to the. No, I'm not. I'll show you in a minute. The limo takes him to the concert. He gets back in the limo after the thing's over. They run him in there. Gets in. And you hear the guy go, "Elvis has left the building," and he gets in. He's driving back, and the limo guy said, man, he was so nice on the way over there. He was, just a wonderful man. And on the way back, Elvis goes, hey, do you own this limo? He goes, no, sir. I just work for this company, and I'd love to have one like this. But I work with somebody, and he said, well, this is what he just went on. And in the conversation, the guy goes, he says, so you don't own the limo? He goes, no, sir. He goes, you do now. Elvis bought the limo for him. I mean, met him, just talked to him, bought a brand new limo. I'm like, man, why couldn't I ever run into Elvis back then?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Do you own this radio station? No, I just work right. You own it now.
I don't know if I'd want this. I'd rather have a limo.
No thanks, Elvis.
I'd rather have a limo. But anyway, hey, I've got the answers. They're starting to talk about now, Jeremy, and I think you even talked to. I know Brian brought it up first a long time ago when we started talking about it, and now we got other people talking about it. You know how people they won't play in the bowl games. They might get hurt or whatever, and two things they need to do to help make more money for college football and make it more interesting. We'll start with the bowl games. We talked about it before. Move the bowl games to the beginning of the season. Just say you get a committee, they get together in June, and they pick out these two teams to play in these two cities. You can accept or you cannot accept. You can do it week 0 and week 1 to make sure we get them all in. People will be on. You got time off during the summertime. Mm-hmm. Everybody can travel. Everybody can go do it because they've done it before.
Yep. People
go on to Atlanta. They go to Dallas. They go on these different places for these preseason games. And that way, everybody will play. Everybody will travel. The cities make money in the summertime instead of the winter. Mm-hmm. And then you got the playoffs at the back end of the season. Everybody will play for the playoffs, you would think. But what about this? I'll go a little bit further. Why can't everybody in college football, you start spring football April 1. You have 15 days. You got, say, 10 days in pads. You got 15 days. The last Saturday in April, everybody throughout college football can play a spring football game. But here's the deal. You play a smaller school, because people worry about getting injuries. You play a smaller school like Alabama would play Alabama A&M. Auburn would play Sanford or somebody like that. And then every other year you switch it up. and then you could have like Alabama, Birmingham play another smaller school. Troy would play a smaller school. Each little state do that. You still would make big money, and you give them their payoff then. Because I don't know in the future you're going to see Alabama playing Southern Mississippi, Middle Tennessee State, the smaller schools. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. We don't know what's going to happen with the scheduling. But what do you think about that? Would you be for that? Would you change it up somewhat? What can we do to get the bowl games back where people go to them? Just give me what you think.
I really am a proponent of moving the bowls to the week 0, week 1. We've seen that a bit through the neutral sites, but the schools arranged those well in advance, and the cities in those NFL stadiums usually pay a tremendous amount of money. But if you follow that concept, that works great. As far as the second part, I think the closest thing we'd have to compare that to would be high school spring jamborees, and you go out into May, play for 20-something days, and then a half here or 3/4 here, however they work it out. So that's an intriguing concept. I have to give it more thought, but
yeah.
I'd rather watch somebody play somebody else, and I know the players would rather play somebody else than go hit each other.
Yeah, and like you said, it could be like a jamboree like you see in high school where they have agreement. Hey, look, A&M's going to go play Bama. The first half, they're going to play the first team. The second half, they're playing second and third team. Everybody will play for Bama, and the other school probably can do whatever they want.
Or bring 3 or 4 schools in.
Yeah, you could.
You could. 100,000 seats in the spring.
That is true. I didn't think about that. You could have like the 4 smaller
Bring Troy
schools.
up.
See, I wouldn't want to play Alabama, Birmingham, or something like that for a spring game. I'd play somebody. Hey, it's a scrimmage.
I know who Alabama. UT Chattanooga. What you doing this weekend?
Yeah, something like that. But I think like you said, it'd bring more money to the city. It's like another home football game. Florida State could play Florida A&M at the end of every April. Florida could play, I don't know, one of the smaller teams down in the central part of the state. Well, no, I don't want it to be. I don't know about the very Alabama playing Ohio State or Alabama playing Auburn in the spring game. I don't want that.
No. But you bring them all up.
Yeah.
You don't let Alabama's the host, and South Alabama, Troy, and Jacksonville State come in.
You could do it that way. You could do it the regular game way, but it's more money for the universities. And then I kind of do. I know it's totally against tradition, but you could still have those big bowl games in the year for playoff sites. Because the Big Ten wants to go to 16 teams. I'm not sure the SEC's on board with that yet.
I don't know if coaches would be in favor of doing it. Injuries, of course, is one. Of course,
that's the reason I said weaker. Yeah,
you got a whole summer to
it's okay if we hurt the little boys.
Yeah,
we don't want to,
right.
Yeah.
And the other thing is if Alabama was playing Alabama A&M and Alabama A&M actually beat them, that wouldn't be good.
You'd never hear the end of it.
No, you'd never hear the end of that. So.
That's the reason you would have it where you're going to play your first team the first half, kind of like the high schools do. You get agreement.
Very controlled.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But UWF goes over to Doak Campbell and plays Florida A&M in a quarter. That'd be interesting to watch.
Yeah.
It would.
Well, Tommy, I don't know. Anybody knows how to work on a computer? Please come over here. I don't get it. I don't know what the heck's wrong with this thing.
Are you trying to get on a website?
I can't. It won't pull it up.
Anything?
Can't reach anything.
You can't get on the internet?
Nope.
I think you need to take that computer and throw it in that trash can over there and get Julie to buy you a
I
new
just
one.
spent money on it getting it fixed, and anyway.
Okay. That might be a
Anyway,
problem.
if anybody's over here on 23rd Street knows anything about computers, come on over here and sit with us.
Oh, here comes somebody.
I don't want it worse than it was.
There's a phone.
You got a phone call. Go get the phone call.
I've got somebody calling in.
All right.
Computer's not working either.
But what the bowl game? Let's get back to the fall bowl games. Would that work? I just think the Liberty Bowl. You go out to Memphis. You go visit Graceland. You go watch Auburn play Purdue. I think that would work.
That might work.
Well, the bowl games, you got to have an interesting two teams playing. I mean, if some of those bowl games, it's not worth watching. So.
Brian goes, press the on button.
Is that Phil?
No, it's Brian. He's going to be just like Phil, I swear. Did we get a call?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know where the headsets are
Computer
at.
expert.
Good morning.
Good morning, Coach. This is Rob.
Rob, get up here and fix
can't-
my computer.
I can't fix a compuder, but I can help you kill a few minutes on the bowl games.
Go ahead. Y'all talk.
Well-
I'm working.
Here's the thing about the bowl games, and you know, Miami and what was it, South Florida? They tried playing each other one time. That didn't work out too well. FSU and FAMU has tried playing each other a couple of times in basketball. That didn't work out very well. You end up having the Riot Squad have to come in and break it up, and they leave in the middle of the third quarter. Playing teams inside your own city does not work in the scrimmages and all that. The biggest problem with the bowl games is they play on Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night, wanting to have people travel halfway across the country. You know, why do we not do it on a Friday, Saturday, and have 4 or 5 a day instead of trying to do so many a week? You know, I understand the ESPN's trying to fill time and all that, but they're not going to put people in the stands because you can't take your kids out of school. You can't travel across country in the middle of the week. You're fixing to take off at the end of the year for Christmas and the holidays and all that. People are just not going to spend that kind of money and spend that much time to travel across the country to go to a game. You know, and I understand the thing about having it kind of like, you know, having 4 or 5 teams come in, but, you know, that's a lot. You're going to put 3 teams in one locker room in these big stadiums and stuff and have them all in there with everything they travel with and stuff. That's probably not going to work either.
Yeah. A lot of
The
logistics
biggest
to work
thing
out.
is go back to the scheduling and quit letting ESPN, which I love ESPN. I got one of the shirts on today. But, you know, put
How'd
the
you get a
games
shirt?
on, you know, where people can get up. People love to watch football. You can have a bowl game at Saturday morning at 11 o'clock. You can do one at 1 o'clock. You can do one at 3 o'clock, all the way up till 10 o'clock at night. And they'll get just as much, if not more, coverage on TV time as they would, you know, because up north it's cold. People aren't outside doing anything anyway. So why not build up have multiple games on the weekend instead of trying to spread them out all during the week?
You don't like doing them in the summer, like week 0? That's one Saturday.
Well, the problem is that, you know, who's going to want to go play a nothing game that they really against somebody else and take the chance on somebody getting hurt when you're worried about now it's all about the conference, you know, winning your games, get into the conference, and try and get into your playoffs.
And there's also the vacations and things like that. You know, people normally take the spring and summers and they go visit relatives or they take that vacation.
Well, and too, you would have to select your places that you would play where if you're going to play anywhere in the southern 2/3 of the country, you're going to have to play in a dome where it's air conditioned. People are not going to travel down here and do all that and pay the kind of money to do it and sit in 110 degree weather to watch a scrimmage.
Well, it's no different. Well, no, I disagree. It was.
It is a difference because you're when you got game 0 and game 1, you're going to Alabama or Auburn or Tallahassee, Gainesville, Miami. Well, Miami doesn't go to their games either, but you're going there to watch a real game that is played on their schedule that's counting. That's not a scrimmage.
Yeah, and that's what a bowl game is, though. So it would count. It's just the bowl games playing at the beginning of the year. It counts against your record. It counts against every way. Hey, listen, we got to take a break. Thank you so much for calling,
All
Rob.
right, guys.
Bye, buddy.
All right, see you later.
All right, man. Jeremy, I don't think he liked my idea. Well, really, actually, Brian got me thinking about it. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Yesterday was world famous J. Michael Spaghetti. Man, I'm telling you what, lunch, I never seen it that crowded. There was actually people outside waiting to get in. It's just picking up. People love that world famous spaghetti at J. Michael's restaurant. You still can get the best seafood, coldest beer every single day. J. Michael's restaurant on Thomas Drive. Don't forget about real estate deals. You're going to go close on a house. You're going to close on some rental property. Whatever the case may be, you make sure you don't make any mistakes. You demand Chuck Tucker, South Oak Title and Closing. Chuck does an incredible job. Tommy, you knew his daddy at Mosley. He did a great job. It's in the family. They ain't nothing but winners. They're like Bear Bryant. They're nothing but winners. Get out to South Oak Title and Closing and tell them Coach sent you. Buffalo Rock, thank you guys for everything you do for us. Tommy, have they not been a great company for
They
Bay
are
County?
one of the best around here. They very supportive of the community and especially our schools. So we love them.
Yes, we do. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Happy hour 4 to 7. The best Mexican restaurant and newest on Panama City Beach. It's absolutely wonderful. Go try it. Jared called yesterday. Wanted to go. We had to go to a retirement party. He pouted because I always pick up the bill. You know what he gets when I take him? Every time. The steak fajitas. The most expensive thing on the bill he gets.
That's because he doesn't have to pay for it.
He's smart. We'll be right back.
He
Jeremy
learned from the
Pritchett.
best.
Yeah. Jeremy Pritchett, Tommy Santamont. We'll be right back. Big John's in the house. I'm so used to doing the
This is your captain speaking. Thank you for flying with ESPN Northwest Florida. Please return to your seats, buckle up, and prepare for launch.
It will lay down. Base hit. Here comes Ronald. Braves win
The
it.
defending world champion Atlanta Braves are sponsored by Bill Burke Kia, Beltway Portable Buildings, Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, Ellis Agency Insurance, and ESPN Northwest Florida. And we apologize for any turbulence you've experienced this season with the Atlanta Braves.
Good Thursday morning. That moisture continues to stream in from the Gulf of Mexico. A blend of sun and clouds today. Chance of showers and thunderstorms. The high near 90. And it looks like a south wind about 10 to 15. Water temperature 87. Showers and thunderstorms overnight near 77 degrees. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Hear that? That's the plumpest, juiciest hot dogs you've ever seen getting their grill on. But we both know what'll make it sound even better. Oh yeah, it's a Pepsi to go with your hot dog. Because when you're chomping on America's favorite meal, relish, mustard, and onions perfectly blending into a crescendo of flavor, there's only one thing that makes everything about that moment better. A cold, refreshing Pepsi. One mouth-watering sip is all it takes to make this whole experience go from pretty good to jaw-droppingly, table-poundingly incredible. Don't believe me? Just listen. See what I mean? It's like music to my ears. And if you'll excuse me, I have a date with the two most beautiful things I've ever seen, or heard. Hot dogs. Better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Buffalo Rock Company in Panama City is currently accepting applications for delivery merchandisers, as well as other positions. Please apply online at buffalorock.com/careers. Buffalo Rock Company is an equal opportunity employer. It is Buffalo Rock Company policy to provide equal employment opportunities to all qualified applicants, without regard to race, color, religion, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, national origin, age, protected veteran, or disabled status.
From the Vortex Springs to the Bear Paw Canoe Trail. From Shell Island to 30A. We're your home for live sports. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! FSU updates brought about all the newbies here in beautiful Bay County. John and Charlotte, wonderful people. Appreciate everything they do and everything they have done. Newbies, get out there and have a wonderful time. Newbies 2 on the Curve, the place to go watch all sporting events. They've had it remodeled. It's absolutely beautiful inside. It's right there on the Curve on Thomas Drive. Go watch some sporting events there. The motherships, we all know about that. The Booze and Brews, great places, great times, all at Newbies. All right, what you got for us today, Mr. Sam?
Well, I got several different things. We'll start off with basketball first. We've got a trip to Canada coming up, a 10-day trip that is going to take place with our basketball team. And I'm kind of surprised with the uptick in COVID that they're going to allow them to go into Canada for 10 days, but they are. So that's on the schedule, and that's going to be happening here real soon. Leonard Hamilton set all that up, so that'll be a good trip for the basketball team. They got a lot of young kids this year, so it's going to be one of his youngest teams he's had in a long time. So,
Tommy, why do you think? I mean, I'm sort of thinking some of them go. Auburn's going somewhere. I forgot overseas.
Yeah.
I mean, people go different places to do. Is that to help them in recruiting?
Absolutely.
Is that what it is?
And it's also good. You know, you play. Some of these teams they're going to be playing are really good.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going to get some good competition. Plus, it's good for the kids to know they can go and visit.
Probably
some of
spend
these
some
other
time looking around, doing
areas.
some
Yeah,
things.
sure. That's
Okay.
part of it.
All right.
And the other thing in soccer, Brian Penske, he was a soccer coach of the year at Tennessee, and he's now the soccer coach at FSU. And he took Coach Kevorkian's place, and they had their first practice, and the only thing he's concerned with now is his back five, his defenders back there. His front five is probably by far the best in college soccer. They're defending national champs, and they're loaded in the front scoring. But they got to work on the defenders, and of course he's got a lot of players. He got some great players, and we're gonna see how Coach Penske does with his first year with the FSU Seminole soccer girls. So that'll be interesting to watch as it goes along. Another thing too, I didn't realize, but War Chant is gone. I don't know where they've gone, but Osceola is the name of the website that's taken over for Rivals, and War Chant is. I think they're gonna probably come about somewhere else, but I don't know where. But Jerry Kuntz, he's been around FSU for 40 years. I mean, he's been there. He's leading this new deal with FSU football through Rivals, and they're starting off with a lot of people that new people that's going to be doing some reporting. So that's going to be also interesting how that unfolds. So that's something new that's just started. Now football. I read a lot about, especially on War Channel, I read these kids who go and visit FSU, and I read about, what they say. And Coach Norville, gosh, he's like the Energizer Bunny. That guy is all over the place. I mean, some of these good recruits come in, he stays with them. I mean, you don't see too many head coaches do that. They let other people take care of them, but he's right there with them in practice. He's all over the place, trying to check on all the different defensive backs, linemen, all that. He's there right in the middle of it. And after they've had their sixth practice. They're in pads now. And probably the biggest thing with FSU football this year, the key word is depth. They've got a lot of players this year, nothing compared to what they've had in the past. And especially offensive line, they got a full line there that they can choose from. So defensive backs are loaded, running backs, they got a lot of them. So they're really doing well. And after sixth practice, some of the Osceola, the reports there, some of the players they said has really showed out is Trey Benson. Of course, he's a running back, a big kid. He's been doing real well. Johnny Wilson, he's a receiver, 6'7", and they said he's been doing real well in practice. Bless Harris, he's a offensive lineman. He transferred in from Lamar, playing at that lower level, but they said he's really doing well on the offensive line. And Bryson Estes, he's an offensive lineman. Byron Turner, the defensive end, and Jarrett Jackson, defensive tackle. I've not heard too much about these kids, but they've been mentioned as really doing well during the practice. And Tatum Bethune, the linebacker, is going to really help FSU in that area. He's a great player. Kevin Knowles, the defensive back, he's doing really well. He's been just playing very well. And the surprise of the team so far is Azariah Thomas. He's a kid that they recruited from Niceville. Right there at the end, he jumped on board with FSU, and he was probably a kid that was very underlooked by other coaches. And he's 6'3", 175, kind of a tall kid for DB, but he has already had 3 interceptions through 6 practices and forced a fumble. So he's all where the ball is, that's where he's going to be.
Kid sounds hungry.
Do what?
I said the kid sounds hungry.
Oh, I'm telling he is. And they say Jalen Ramsey was a great defensive back for FSU. They say he's going to be the next great defensive back at FSU, and I'm looking forward to it. But my brother-in-law, who lives over in Fort Walton, said this kid, when they recruited him, said he's a player because he'd seen him play in high school. Said he's a great player. So he is working out real well at FSU, and they're going. And the only thing you look at now when they start in the pads and they start this fall practice, and you look for injuries. And the good thing about FSU this year, they do have some depth. So injuries, of course, you don't want the elite players to get injured, but when they do, at least FSU's got some other players that can come in and take their place. But the football was going on real well, and Coach Norville was very high on the intensity level and how the kids have been responding in the heat out there in the practices.
Can't wait. Week 0 for them.
Mm-hmm.
What we talking about jamborees? Florida State's playing jamboree week 1.
Yes.
And there's a lot of people going over to town. Are you going to go watch them? That week 1? Week 0?
I might. It's a possibility. If my nephew invites me over, I'll definitely go.
You may call him, remind him.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think they're going to do in that game? Is play everybody?
Yeah, they will. I hope they play everybody. You never know.
No.
We're going to find out real quick, like what kind of team. But of course, week number 2 is going to be the tail for FSU.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to compete against LSU, but they'll be there.
I'll be honest, as a player, Jeremy, Tommy, I don't know. As a player, I don't know if I'd like playing week 0. You come in, you got to practice one more week than everybody else, and you're still going to end the same time as everybody else. It's just more work on the body, mentally, physically, everything else. Seriously, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth that. They're going to get the game under the belt. They'll see the mistakes. They'll correct them, and then they go to Baton Rouge. I mean,
Would that do you think that have an effect on the LSU game that they've got one game under the belt? Of course, LSU gets to see them.
Yeah, you would think it'd be an advantage because just like I said, they've been out there. They'll see things. It's like anytime you go into week 1. There's always something you're just not sure about, and then you find out this kid can't play. This kid, you find what your question marks are.
That's when you see that kid in the defensive back breaks, he's wide open, scores a touchdown. You say, what happened?
Or some screw up in the kicking game.
Yeah, right.
They said they were having problems with the snappers.
Yep.
Well, that's because it was the first day you put the pads on. It's different than when you snap without them, so it takes them a while to get used to. That's not going to be a problem. They'll get better and better at that.
Special teams is a concern that he's big on special teams, but he said they've been having some problems. They got a great punter. He's one of the best in the nation, and they've been having some problems with the snaps and stuff like that. So he'll get it worked out, I'm sure.
Yeah, they got plenty of time to find a snapper. They should have already had one. But LSU gets the one. You look, okay, what's your advantage, disadvantages? We talked about the advantages. Disadvantages and it really is none. I don't really think there's any because LSU's probably watched every tape they played in all last year. So they're going to know what they're going to do. But they'll get to see their players, and you can see who can play, who can't play. And then you got, I don't know, Jeremy, who's got the advantage? LSU sitting home getting rested, getting ready up, or the team that played the game earlier?
I was over in New Orleans recently, and they were struck by the number of FSU fans that have booked their weekend, and they were really pleased with the turnout in this matchup. So I don't know that it's going to be quite the LSU, home field. Maybe even 60-40 type of split here.
Yeah.
So
what's it hold? 76,000.
Yeah,
There's 30,000 FSU fans.
They sold out that quickly.
Yeah,
real quick.
So it's going to have a true bowl game feel now. Part of this is, do you like to travel and kind of keep your kids away from all of this, or do you want to have them, they're in their own locale exposed to a lot of it? How the teams handle those things will determine the difference. We've seen enough Sugar Bowls to know there have been plenty of teams stub their toe by kids ending up on bourbon. All of those things, I think, are the X factors.
I think LSU just used to that drinking. I don't think it's going to affect them. It doesn't affect their fans. Probably doesn't affect their players.
Does not
either.
affect their fans.
I think it's an interesting game. Coach Kelly played FSU at Notre Dame.
Week 1.
Yeah, week
Same
1.
coach. And Florida State should have won that game.
They should have.
So I brought that up yesterday. I said, you know what? Florida State, don't knock Florida State out of this thing now. I think it was opened up at 3 points. Somebody said it was 2.5 points.
Yes, right.
If it's 2.5, that's a good number to have if you're going to do some betting.
When you look at the roster, LSU definitely has a talent, a little bit more than FSU. So
I can't wait. I mean, Notre Dame had a lot more talent than FSU last year. If FSU wins this football game, I think they're going to have a really good year. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Dr. Chad Mitchell, legendary doctor here in Bay County. Any type of injury, go see Chad. I think everybody in this room has been to see him. He did such a wonderful job. He'll be back on Bay County sidelines for, I think, his 22nd, 23rd year of doing so, taking care of our Bay County athletes. And every Monday we'll have him in here. If you love golf, I was there last night, Bay Point Club 72. People did a great job yesterday or last night. Wonderful party. You can book it. Call Ryan up. He'll get you the right people to get in touch with if you want to have a party, a wedding party. It doesn't matter, whatever you want to do. Graduation party, you name it, you can do it right there at Club 72. All right, we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has the real local fishing report. This is Tim from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle. Join me every Thursday afternoon at 5:15 during the Afternoon Underdogs and Friday mornings during the 6 a.m. hour. It's accurate, concise content from local anglers right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Signworks, a business serving businesses since 1985. Everything from signs and banners, vehicles and boats, magnetic and real estate signs, contractor signs, and much more. Signworks can do large format, full color printing too. Signworks, a real professional in the business world. Call Signworks at 785-8899. Signworks, 850-785-8899.
Eye care is important. So why is it that you're often crammed into waiting rooms, rushed in and out of appointments, and left feeling like the physician and staff don't care about you at all? At the Eye Studio, things are done differently. The friendly and knowledgeable staff utilize state-of-the-art equipment and testing, plus education to achieve the best results for every patient. If you're looking for a positive, personalized, modern eye care experience, the Eye Studio is the place for you. Visit eyestudiopcb.com for more information.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627. Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has the real local fishing report. This is Tim from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle. Join me every Thursday afternoon at 5:15 during the Afternoon Underdogs and Friday mornings during the 6 a.m. hour. It's accurate, concise content from local anglers right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
From the Vortex Springs to the Bear Paw Canoe Trail. From Shell Island to 30A. We're your home for live sports. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. I'm really upset. I cannot get on the dang internet. Anyway.
Remind me of my children when the Wi-Fi's down.
Yeah.
Where's the 12-year-old when you need one?
I'm not connected to Wi-Fi, and I can't get connected. I don't know what the deal is. All right, this is one of many lineups, preseason picks for the bowl season. And we were talking about, let's move the bowl games early. Thank you, Randy. He just sent me something. No, I got to do it during break. All right. This is the Las Vegas Bowl, December 17th, 6:30 kickoff, ABC. What SEC school will be playing that, Tommy Santamont?
Mississippi State.
Ole Miss. Ole Miss, good pick. Guess who they'll be playing, Jeremy Pridgeon?
Conference foe, UCLA.
This guy is bright, man. This guy is good. UCLA, Ole Miss. This is the reason I got you guys in here. Y'all know what you're doing. You know what you're talking about.
Those folks from LA like to go up to Las Vegas.
I think he goes, it could be operator error. I said, yeah, I think you're right. Okay, let's look at the next one. Fiasco Bowl, December 17th, 8:15, ESPN, BYU versus Missouri. I think Missouri is going to have a good year this year compared to last year.
That's got a real historical rivalry when Joe Smith was run out of Missouri and they went to Utah there in the Mormon, background. So I like the matchup. Yeah.
All right. I didn't know they had this. Myrtle Beach Bowl. Myrtle Beach Bowl, December 19th, 1:30, ESPN. Guess what powerhouse, the Harvard of the South academically, is going to be playing this game?
Duke or Wake Forest?
Duke or Vanderbilt or
Vanderbilt?
Southern Mississippi.
Oh, God.
That was my next pick.
Southern Mississippi versus Liberty. Liberty. Hugh Freeze is still at Liberty, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's USM versus Liberty. I tell you what, that might not be a bad game to go watch. Gasparillo Bowl, December 23rd. Time to be announced. It will be on ESPN.
I actually saw this one. I don't know that our folks over on the plains will be real happy to be at the Gasparillo Bowl.
December 23rd game. I don't think so either. Before Christmas? No. Auburn Tigers versus Randy Williams,
Louisville. Okay.
I'm hearing good things about Louisville. They're picking it up and recruiting. And I think they're going to have a pretty good team this year. The big Birmingham Bowl, December 27th. That stadium is beautiful, by the way. Have you been there yet?
I've only seen it from driving by. I've not been in.
Have you
yet.
seen it, Tommy?
No. But everything I've heard said they've done a great job with it.
Yeah, they did an outstanding job. Auburn played Houston there last year. It was sold
Packed it out.
And Auburn got beat by Houston. So Houston's the new love of this year coming. This is the new Cincinnati coming up. But the Birmingham Bowl this year will have, it's going to be at 2:15 on ESPN.
Mississippi State coming over.
Wait a minute, I'm going to get this straight. It's either going to be kickoff at 2:15 or either at 5:45 on ESPN. They haven't decided yet. It'll be Mississippi State versus Kansas State.
That's a good matchup.
I think they'll sell that.
I think
out.
they played a home a few years ago too.
They didn't get into it in a bowl game. Almost got in a fight.
Tulsa and Mississippi.
That was Tulsa. Yeah. That was right. Well, maybe they'll do it this year in Birmingham.
That's Oklahoma.
Yeah. I think both. I think they'll be a sellout. I think Kansas travels decently.
That's a short drive down 82.
Yeah, they'll sell that sucker out. That'll be a good one. The Military Bowl, December 28th, 1 o'clock, ESPN. Powerhouse Gus Malzahn, Central Florida versus Pitt. Good game.
Surprised one of the service academies didn't end up there.
Where is the Military Bowl played at?
Aren't they in Texas, out in Fort Worth?
Yes, it is, Jeremy. Yes, it is. Thank you, sir. Liberty Bowl. I used to love the Liberty Bowl. Bear Bryant's last game to play there was the Liberty Bowl.
That's a grand old stadium.
Yep. You can go to Graceland, go visit Elvis's place, go to
Beale Street.
Yeah, you have a great time, man. And then go watch the bowl game. This you have a good time down there. Liberty Bowl, December 28th, 4:30 kickoff, ESPN. That will be sold out if this happens. West Virginia versus Tennessee. I'm hearing Tennessee's going to be really good. I'm saying it right now. Watch out, Bama. Watch out, Bama.
So,
I'm telling you.
So if you're a Tennessee fan, you end up Liberty Bowl, you're disappointed with this year?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I would think so. Yeah. If they're not in the state of Florida for a bowl game, they're going to be upset. All right. The Texas Bowl, December 28th, 8 o'clock kickoff, ESPN. Baylor. This is going to be a great game. Baylor versus Arkansas. That would be a really good football game. Baylor's defense is going to be great. We all know that.
I think Baylor's going to end up higher than the Texas Bowl. Don't sleep on Baylor.
I'm with you. I wouldn't be. Matter of fact, this might be the one team they're talking about at the end of the year. Aranda can coach their defense. I watched their defense, and I looked at the bodies of those kids out there. They look like an SEC school, especially on the defense side of the ball. If their offense picks it up, Baylor,
look out.
They could take the whole thing over there. I really believe that. Cheez-It Bowl, December 29th, 4:30 kickoff, ESPN. This would be a good one, Tommy. Where's that played? Orlando?
Cheez-It Bowl.
Or Jacksonville? Somewhere in Florida, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think.
I think it's one of the two double hosted there.
Cheez-It Bowl.
Cheez-It, okay. I thought he was going to play in the mayonnaise bowl. I saw another one they're playing in mayonnaise. The Duke's Bowl? Duke's mayonnaise bowl?
You think about the mustard bowl?
Don't they have a Duke's mayonnaise bowl?
Yeah,
They do.
They do.
Yeah,
They do.
they actually
At
don't.
first, I know what you're talking about. Now you're right. I got it. Tommy, you okay?
Yeah, somebody got a mayonnaise bath last year.
Yeah, they
too.
did.
Yeah, that's right.
that
You're
was-
right, Tommy. I thought you lost it.
No, that's
that would-
right.
That would be like
I
the
thought you were about
worst.
making a sandwich or something.
Miami.
Miami.
So
Okay.
they're going to keep Miami at home.
Yeah, they got Miami playing Texas.
Okay.
Miami, Texas. That'd be a good game.
Used to be called the
Yeah.
Blockbuster Bowl.
That'd be a
Okay.
good
That's
game.
right.
Yeah,
That's
right.
right. Hey, I tell you what. Now the Texas people are going to be upset if they're playing this bowl game. I'll tell you that right now. They expect them to be pretty good.
Yeah, they don't have any way, shape, or form unless it's the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, Cristobal, I'm gonna tell you right now, that sucker's gonna win a championship there. Either ACC, national, state, something. He's gonna win something there. I guarantee you. If they don't give it to Bill, the offensive coordinator of Alabama, I think it's gonna be Cristobal that's gonna get offered the job at Alabama if he does well when Nick leaves. I really do. I don't think he'll take it. I think he's too smart to do that. But they might throw so much money that he would do it. That's just me. They like him in Tuscaloosa. But anyway, you got Miami versus Texas. Then the Gator Bowl, December 30th, 2:30 kickoff, FSU versus Kentucky.
Whoa.
The folks in Jacksonville would love to bring the Seminoles over. That's,
Yeah, and Kentucky, Kentucky, last year in Orlando, there was a lot of Kentucky people there.
Kentucky's excited to be in Florida in December.
If FSU gets the Gator Bowl, that means they had a good season.
Yeah, and I do think they're going to have a good year. I do. All right, the Music City Bowl, December 31st. That kickoff, by the way, the Gator Bowl is at 2:30. Music City Bowl, December 31st, New Year's Eve. I think they're going that's the same day the playoff games are played, too, I believe. Yeah, it is because it's an early game. 11 o'clock, early kickoff. You got Michigan State up in Nashville playing South Carolina. I could see South Carolina getting
Decent
there.
matchup. And
yeah, really
folks
good.
like Nashville.
All right, and then you got the one in Tampa, the Quest Bowl in Tampa on January 2nd, early game, 11 o'clock kickoff, ESPN2, LSU versus Wisconsin.
Okay, hang on. Yeah, we might have to take.
What do you think about that one?
That's going to be
I
some.
mean, LSU had a decent year to be playing on that late date.
That's pretty good. That'd be some
I can't-
contrast on the uniforms, too.
Yeah, I cannot read this. Oh, Citrus Bowl. Citrus Bowl, January 2nd, 12 o'clock, ABC. Seems like they're there every other year. Penn State versus the Florida Gators. That meant Florida had a good year.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Citrus Bowl, winter home of the Penn State Nittany Lions.
Yeah, we got a caller? Oh, let's take this call real quick. Good morning.
What's up, Coach?
Trying to get this doggone computer. Where are you at right now?
I'm on the bridge.
Can you come on in here and help me get with the computer?
You are the only person least handy on a computer than I am. So,
That is true. What's going on, Jeff?
Well, man, I just wanted to tell you guys and let everyone know that Mosley Wrestling, we had a senior named Savannah Pitts that yesterday she signed with a college, Bruton Parker, out of Mount Vernon, Georgia. It's an NAI school, but she signed a wrestling scholarship there.
A girl did?
Yeah, a girl. And to my knowledge, she is the first girl to sign a wrestling scholarship from Bay County. Now Weewa had a girl that beat us and signed a little bit earlier this year, but and actually she's going to the same school. But Savannah, she only got into wrestling at the end of her junior year, and so she really only had one full season. She was a district champ. She was a state qualifier. She's wrestled throughout the summer, but this college, Bruton Parker, saw her and said, "Where are you going?" And they signed her yesterday.
That's
and
awesome.
I'm really excited about it.
That is awesome. Savannah, what's her last name?
Pitts, Pitts.
Now, she's not related to Matt. That's not Matt's daughter, is it? Matt Pitts?
No, sir. No,
Okay.
sir.
Okay.
But,
Well, that's awesome, Jeff. Tell her we're really proud of her. That's outstanding.
Yes, sir. And I mean, and it just shows the growth of the girls' sports. You know, we've had a couple of other girls, but in Savannah is a case of she comes in, she works hard, and it's almost unheard of for an athlete to come in and do a sport for 1 year, and and get signed somewhere, especially with wrestling. So it's but excited about that.
Yeah, you should be doing a great job over there. How good? You gonna be pretty good this year?
We're gonna try to be competitive. We lost. We lost a couple of really good wrestlers last year, but we're just trying to get to that stage where we could reload every year, and we're still building, man. But a lot of good things are going on over there. Got a good parents support network. The kids wrestled all summer. My club coaches does just a phenomenal job. And we got a lot of younger kids, and like we used to do out at Arnold, and got a lot of younger kids. Hopefully that'll feed into our program coming up. So that's it.
All right, bud. Thank you for the call. We got to take a break right now. Jeff,
Yes,
Skipper,
sir.
have a wonderful school year. You guys be
You too,
safe.
bud.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Coach. All right.
Bye-bye. All right, let's take a break real quick. I got time to talk about a couple great, wonderful people we have, like Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Back Beach Road. You want that vehicle to look brand new? You want that F-150 loaded 4x4 to look great, Tommy? Blue Sky Express Car Wash. They do an incredible job there. Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, please do not put it off. Go get it checked out. You're listening right now in Northwest Florida. There's an office near you. Go see Dr. Ward. Do not play around with skin cancer. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better, live longer? Jason Kovaleski. Go by and see him. If you want your child to have an edge in sports, go see Jason Kovaleski. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Only 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida could bring sports fans like you an app this powerful. The sports content you crave is always on. Live stream us everywhere you go. Now with upgraded programming and live game schedules, you'll always know when the Atlanta Braves and your favorite games are playing. Plus, interact with our local hosts in real time and so much more. The new app for the sports fanatic is available at the Apple Store and Google Play. From 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Thursday morning. That moisture continues to stream in from the Gulf of Mexico. A blend of sun and clouds today. Chance of showers and thunderstorms. The high near 90. And it looks like a south wind about 10 to 15. Water temperature 87. Showers and thunderstorms overnight near 77 degrees. This weather forecast has been brought to you by KHS and Associates, your source for affordable health insurance. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Sykes Concrete has been in business in this area since 1947, and 3 generations later, they're still going strong. See Sykes Concrete for dirt, sand, rock, and concrete. They can handle any size job from the smallest to the largest. Sykes Concrete pays CDL truck drivers some of the highest wages in Bay County, making $50,000 to $75,000 a year, including holiday and vacation pay, plus health insurance. See Hugh Sykes at Sykes Concrete, 8030 Highway 77 on the right, just north of Southport Elementary School.
Earthworks of Northwest Florida knows it's a perfect time for you to update your home. Whether it's routine touch-ups or a new look, Earthworks has just what you need. Sand, stone, mulch, and gravel, pickup or delivery. Visit earthworks.com and request a quote. Discover your dream landscape with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Love the land you live on. Earthworks of Northwest Florida, 2005 Industrial Drive.
The #1 SEC call-in show is now twice as big. It's double the Paul Feinbaum Show. Weeknights starting at 6.
Okay, but also go faster.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Why did it disappear, Tommy? 03 went down. I'm screwing everything up. Anyway, we're back. We're trying to work on a computer, and I don't know anything about them. So
You got a computer expert sitting beside you, though.
yeah, I know. I can tell. I've already lost one thing for good. I don't know where it went. It is gone. All right, let's get back to the January bowl predictions. Preseason, way too early. Now that one disconnected. That one is gone forever. I'm not listening to you anymore.
It's not. You need to get another computer.
All right, New Year's 6 bowl games. This is what they have. The Orange Bowl, December 30th, 6:30 or 7, ESPN. No, this is surprising. Guess who the ACC has there?
North Carolina.
NC State.
Yeah.
NC State's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, they're going to be pretty good.
NC State versus
Clemson.
a rematch from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, Fighting Irish. Hey, listen, I think Irish might get spanked. I'm not in on this coach. I watched that bowl game. They did not look like they were coached very well. They open up with Ohio State.
I think it's
Columbus.
going to be ugly.
I do too. I don't think they're going to slow that offense down on the Buckeyes half.
Those players love that coach, but I don't know about how you can coach.
He's never been a head coach before, and he's starting out as a head coach of Notre Dame. Good luck with that. I mean, maybe he can recruit really well. Maybe it'll get better. Yeah. Maybe it'll be a lot better. But Jeremy, I can see them not going to a big bowl game, but they're getting a lot of love right here. You think they make it to?
I'm really struggling to see them there. I really am. I may be wrong, but
yeah, I'm with you. All right, the Sugar Bowl, December 31st. 11. Can you believe this now? They're playing the same day as the playoff games. December 31st, 11 o'clock kickoff in New Orleans. Has that ever happened in the history of the Sugar Bowl?
Maybe when it was at Tulane Stadium.
Maybe this is wrong. Maybe they're going to change. I just can't believe they're going to play that game at 11 o'clock.
Well, the good thing about that, if somebody shoots you, it'll be in the daytime and you can see them.
You can see. Yeah.
The cameras will.
Yeah, right.
But the thing about now, if it's playing on December 31st, it's got to be played earlier because the playoff games are later. So that's why it's 11. Wasn't the Peach Bowl a couple of years ago at 11 o'clock too? They had the same thing. All right.
Somebody gets stuck in that slot, and it may be like a rotational thing.
I bet that's what it is. I bet you're right. All right, this is what they got. The Sugar Bowl, 11 o'clock, ESPN, December 31st. You got Texas A&M. They should have a good year this year, you would think. You know what?
I just figured out why the Sugar Bowl is going to be at 11. If you're playing on Monday, January 2nd, because you're skipping the Sunday, what do you have on Monday night? Monday night football.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Monday night football as big as it used to be?
I don't know if it's still going at that point, but you know.
But you got the play. I don't think it is because you got the
playoffs are on the Saturday.
Saturday 31st.
So
the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
The Sugar Bowl's on the 31st.
But then go to the 2nd, which is the Monday, and all you have is the Cotton and the Rose, and they left the night slot open.
Oh, okay. Well, December 31st is what, Saturday?
Yep.
Yeah, it is. Okay, I understand what you're saying. That's okay. I got you now. All right.
Swap Monday night football to Saturday morning at 11 and play the Sugar Bowl Monday night.
Yeah.
That's fine with me.
That's what they need to do.
Texas A&M versus Oklahoma. Versus Oklahoma.
Oh, Big 12 matchup.
Yeah. There'll be a lot of Aggies there.
Yeah.
A lot of Aggies.
And Oklahoma travels well. They love going to New Orleans. They love beating SEC teams.
Yeah. All right, the Cotton Bowl, January 2nd. January 2nd, which is what, a Tuesday? I think it is.
Yep.
All right, 12 o'clock kickoff, ESPN. And I do see this happening. It wouldn't shock me to see them in the playoffs either, or the Rose Bowl. Southern Cal versus Houston.
Pac-12 team is going to end up somewhere in the mix. I don't know about the playoff just yet, but USC clearly is the front runner. And Houston being there, I think you're right. They beat Auburn, so now they've got the love of the, non-Power 5. But Texas A&M plays Arkansas and Dallas. I doubt they would want to go back. So it kind of makes sense to send A&M to New Orleans and Houston to Dallas.
All right, let's get in and talk about Houston. Cincinnati got all the love last year. Then they got spanked by Bama. What do you think? I'm not even going to mess this the rest of the day. I'll let Julie fix it when we get home. What do you think happens if Houston has a really good year? Do they get in the playoffs, or do they go, wait a minute, we did this last time with Cincinnati. All Alabama had to do was turn around and hand the ball off. They didn't even run their regular offense. They just smashed them. Do they remember that and go, no, we're going to have Georgia, we're going to have Alabama, we're going to have Ohio State, and we're going to go with USC or Clemson or somebody like that?
No, everybody loves Cinderella, loves a story. And
so you think they might have a good shot?
As much as these are, great matchups, there's also the marketing, advertising that you have to sell. There's the fan bases that have to travel. That was a once-in-a-generational thing for Cincinnati, and to their credit, they showed up.
They did. There were more people there for Cincinnati for Alabama.
Yeah. So I think when you put these matchups together, there's a lot going on. Obviously, you got to qualify to get there. You got to win the number of games, but then what becomes intriguing for viewers?
Now, everybody in the Southeast were laughing. We never told him, but we saw all the websites all over the nation about Cody Shields spending all that money to go watch Alabama play. He bought one ticket on the 50-yard line right in the middle of the stadium, and he had a great time.
I'll tell you, I wouldn't give up one day of hunting to watch USC in Houston.
No, I wouldn't want to. I don't want to watch. I want to watch the big boys play. All right, Rose Bowl, January 2nd. I can see this happening. 4 o'clock kickoff, ESPN, Michigan versus Oregon. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that happening.
That'd be a good matchup.
I do think Georgia's going to pull away from Oregon in the second half. I think they pull away. Do you think it's going to be a close one, or you think Georgia pulls away?
Closer than we would expect here. I mean, really, and I still see it kind of where Georgia's physical, stature is going to take over. But Oregon's going to hold their own.
Okay. All right, so we got Michigan, Oregon, January 2nd, 4 o'clock, ESPN. Now, the playoffs, the big daddy, the big ones. Saturday, December 31st. It'll either kick off at 3 or 7. I don't know if they flip a coin. I know the number one team can go where they want. They can pick the Peach Bowl, or they can pick the Fiesta Bowl. Alabama last year picked Dallas, and hopefully they'll have the choice this year to pick the Peach Bowl. If it's in Atlanta, I might even go do that one.
Yeah.
I'm amazed because that's easy to get to. All right, December 31st, 3 o'clock. Peach Bowl. This is what they have. They have Alabama and Georgia playing back-to-back.
Good Lord.
You got two 12-0 teams playing for the SEC championship, and they're going to turn around and do it again.
Well, all righty then.
I don't like that.
I don't either.
Well, they're going to ensure that no SEC final.
There you go.
Have a knockout round.
I don't like that. If everybody stays healthy, I think it's Alabama, Ohio State. But
so basically, they will have played in the same stadium a month earlier, come back to the same stadium,
play again,
play quarters 5 through 8.
It's like Lee and Lanier one time back in the late 60s. They played last game of the year, Crampton Bowl, citywide TV, completely packed out. Then they turn around and play the state championship later on. Everything's the same.
And that's one thing if you've beaten 4 other teams to get back to play each other.
Yeah.
It's another where we go, well, we'll see y'all next week or see you in a month. And yeah.
Unbelievable. All right. Fiesta Bowl, same day. It'll be at 3 o'clock or 7 o'clock. Fiesta Bowl, it'll be Ohio State versus Clemson. That's the 4 I picked a long time ago. Those 4, I thought Clemson will be back. Their defense is going to be great. Offense will be better, and they have the easiest path. Now, after Southern Cal's got all the superstars moved in over there, it won't shock me to see Southern Cal in there and Clemson out. But I'm going to stick with Clemson right now. All right, Monday. This is what they have. Monday, the national championship game will be played where the Super Bowl was played this past year, which is bad news for Alabama.
Yeah.
Last time they went up to California and played Clemson, they got embarrassed.
It's bad news all the way around because you're not going to have a Pac-12 team. I think they looked at sort of spreading this around, and in Santa Clara, Alabama, Clemson had to travel all the way across the country.
Did it even sell out?
No.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Did you go to that one?
No, and I was glad I didn't after the first drive.
Oh, I know. That was terrible. All right, here's what they have. They have the Alabama Crimson Tide beating Georgia, going to Inglewood, playing the Ohio State Buckeyes. Yep. Buckeyes get it done against Clemson. And really, if both these two teams stay healthy and don't beat themselves, they will probably play for the national championship. Yep. But you know what, Tommy? You and I know the ball bounces different ways. You never know what's going to happen. That's the reason
Ohio State's going to have a better defense this year.
Oh, they will.
In the past.
They will. And their offense, I think they got the best offense in college football.
They got
their receivers are unbelievable. Yep. The quarterback is just as good as ours. The running back's really good. He was a freshman, played last year. I don't know, Jeremy. We might have some trouble with Buckeyes. If we're weak anywhere, I kind of worry about the secondary from what I'm hearing. Everything else, Alabama should be really good.
See, I think the secondary is finally going to step it up. It's almost as if Saban has taken it personally to get back to getting those DBs in good order.
I hope so. I don't know. Maybe he's 71. Maybe you should just watch practice at a coach secondary. You mean call and tell him you said that?
I'll tell him.
All right. All right. That's a way too early predictions, and really we focused on the SEC schools. We focused on Central Florida and Florida State.
What percent do you think they're going to get those right? It's fun. It's fun to do all that, but do they actually happen?
With the conference tie-ins, I think some of them are pretty.
Be right.
You can be pretty close.
Who they play might be wrong. But
yeah.
I don't know. That's the reason we do it now, and we'll look at. And I'll tell you what, I predict right now that I will not be the champion of picks this year. Because I think Jeremy might get us this year. I think you might get us because I disagree with you on a couple of them. Week 1, y'all going to be shocked who I picked to win those games. I think that SEC – well, we got to take a break right now. I'm sorry, John.
Cliffhanger, not us to tease.
Yeah. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. If you don't want to cook tonight, call them, make an order. Go by and pick it up. Get yourself a Paparazzi Gourmet Deli, or get you the pizza. The pizza's incredible. But what you want to make the whole family happy? Buy just one slice. All you need is one slice. It's huge. The Paradise Cake. It is good as I think Louise went down there and cooked that cake for them. It's so good. You know how well she cooks.
Yeah, she probably
I love. What's that chocolate cake she makes?
Texas chocolate sheet cake.
God, that thing's unbelievable. It's one of the best things I ever had. All right. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell John, let Louise go to work down there. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli, try it. You'll absolutely love it. We'll be right back with Alabama Crimson Tide. Be right back.
Hey, Braves fans. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has your chance to win weekly prizes from Slim Chicken, Rudy's Barbecue, That Boot Store, Guthrie's, and Rib Crib with Atlanta Braves Trivia. Step 1, open the ESPN Northwest Florida app and click Braves Trivia. Step 2, answer trivia about a recent game. Step 3, score some tasty prizes and come home a hero. The Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast. Listen live on 104.3 in the ESPN Northwest Florida app.
Good Thursday morning. That moisture continues to stream in from the Gulf of Mexico. A blend of sun and clouds today. Chance of showers and thunderstorms. The high near 90. And it looks like the south wind about 10 to 15. Water temperature 87. Showers and thunderstorms overnight near 77 degrees. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Is your mouth watering yet? We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Hit me with the sound effects again. Ladies, gentlemen, if you're feeling the way I'm feeling, we should both go get us a piece of that cheesy, beefy perfection with a delicious, refreshing Pepsi. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Buffalo Rock Company in Panama City is currently accepting applications for delivery merchandisers, as well as other positions. Please apply online at buffalorock.com/careers. Buffalo Rock Company is an equal opportunity employer. It is Buffalo Rock Company policy to provide equal employment opportunities to all qualified applicants, without regard to race, color, religion, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, national origin, age, protected veteran, or disabled status.
The Atlanta Braves play here. WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana. Powered by Pepsi. ESPN Northwest Florida. Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll Tide Roll. Alabama updates brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. Hey, you ain't nothing but a winner. Him and the Bear, the same. He taught Saban how to coach, and he's doing it right now at Stevenson Air Conditioning. All they do is win, win, win. All right, Jeremy, you got a lot today to cover.
We got a lot going on. Obviously, the biggest news out of Tuscaloosa yesterday was that Eli Gold, the voice of the Crimson Tide since 1988, will not be in the booth to start the season. He is battling some undisclosed health issues, and well wishes have come across from the state and from across the country for him. I've had the opportunity to hear Eli a couple of times over in Pensacola, the Pensacola Bama Club. First time he came down, he told a funny story. He said that the president of the club had called and said, hey, do you believe in free speech? And he said, well, of course I do. You know, I'm a journalist, First Amendment, freedom of the press, all of that. So I'm an ardent supporter of free speech. And she said, well, good. Would you come give one in Pensacola?
Yeah, that's coming.
But he told a lot of stories of being there with the Crimson Tide and traveling around, and just gives us such a great perspective. And I hope and pray that he can be back to the booth. I know, Coach, you and I were texting last night a little about Chris Stewart, who is going to be filling in for Eli when we open the season here against Utah State. But went back and found an interview that Eli gave when he was asked to give his top 5 calls. Now, I know a lot of people who watch sports on television, and they will put the game on, and they will turn down the volume on the television so that they can put the radio up to hear Deckerhoff or Hubert or Gold or whoever. And I think part of that, you get to hear the home broadcast. You also get a flavor of what's maybe going on in the stadium. And so Eli Gold, we'll see how you do with these, Coach. See if you remember them. Top 5 calls. He said number 5 for him was when Alabama was up at Penn State in '89, and Ray Tarasi, the All-American kicker, 17-yard field goal, shorter than an extra point, and Thomas Rayham blocked it. He said you could hear the distinct double thud, as Eli would say. Little side note, I played a round of golf with Thomas Rayham in a little thing there in Montgomery years ago, and you talk about a huge guy, and he said he was on the field goal block because he was 6'4", 6'5", and had these huge hands, and just went in and just crashed the line and throw your hands up. And he said he felt it when it went off, and he just hoped he had not tipped it up.
I remember that. Yeah. I do remember that game.
And that preserved Alabama still being undefeated on the trip to Happy Valley. Had number 4. And remember this one well. In 2012, Alabama's down on the Bayou, down late, and A.J. McCarron leads a drive.
Oh, yeah.
And hits T.J. Yeldon on a screen pass and breaks the hearts of the LSU fans in the last minute of the ball game to come from behind and keep Alabama undefeated.
Was that a long run after screenplay?
It was about a 30-yard screenplay down the left side there, caught Yeldon in the wide open, and Eli said that was a great call for him as he saw Yeldon slipping there. His third favorite was when Alabama went out to Texas and played in the Rose Bowl. He said, you think about Alabama, and there's a long history with the Rose Bowl. It's in the fight song, and to make that trip out there and watch Alabama after that long time between 92 and 2010 in the national championship. And I remember that call at the end of the game. We're listening there on our headsets in the stadium, and he said, and that'll do it. Alabama wins their national championship, and he closed it by saying, "And the roses in this grand old stadium are once again crimson." Signed off. I mean, it was good stuff. Number 2 for him was the Rocky Block. Were you at that game, Coach?
No.
Mount Cody.
No.
When Lane Kiffin, in his 1 year at Tennessee, had Alabama on the ropes and had set them up to have a potential game-winning field goal. Alabama was up 12-10, and Cody busted through the line and blocked a long field goal, preserving the victory. And again, he's got something for this double thud because he used that same phrase again and preserved that win. And his favorite call, 2nd and 26. And he said, in large part, he said he had never been part of something where you went from just the lowest of lows after Tua sacked for 16-yard loss to the highest of highs, and then to have to deliver it in that moment, and kind of explain just what had happened to the Alabama fans as all that took place in the Dome there. So his top 5 calls. Now, I was a little surprised because for me, my favorite Eli Gold moment, and it was that same year again, 10. But who did we have to beat to get to California? Florida. And
that was 09, right?
Yeah, 09. I mean, but we're playing like the Rose Bowl. Yeah, it's flipped the calendar.
Greatest team ever. The Florida Gators going for 3 in a row.
Mm-hmm. And so
Tebow.
The year before, Tebow broke our hearts.
Right.
I mean, we had him on the ropes. Fourth quarter, he pulls it out, and I was at that SEC championship game, and then the following year, you could just tell, can we do it? I mean, that really was the giant that had to be slayed in order for Alabama to kind of assert its dominance. And I'm sitting there in the Dome and, listening, and clearly Alabama just dominated them. Saban went on to say that he and Stoops had spent the whole summer breaking down film on Tebow, and they saw that every time he dropped his arm, he was going to run, and he told them, don't pursue him, box him. Yeah. And so they kept him boxed the whole time and never let him escape the whole evening long, and Alabama gets the victory. But as they're in kneel-down formation, and you're listening there on a little headset in the stadium, Eli closed it by saying, Alabama, the dreaming is over. California, here we come.
Wow. That's awesome.
So we wish him well. Little aside here, I know we're talking Alabama update, but when I was in Montgomery years ago, Jim Fife was a member of our congregation, and Jim was the voice of the Auburn Tigers, and sadly passed from an aneurysm. I was actually at the hospital there at Jackson Hospital when he passed, and you had Chet Williams and Tuberville, and you had several of those connected to the Auburn family that were checking on Jim, and we had his funeral there in Montgomery. I was part of that service along with our senior minister, and Pat Dye and Sonny Smith also gave eulogies for Fife. But that whole fraternity of SEC announcers showed up. I mean, it was rather remarkable. Feinbaum was there in attendance that day, and Eli Gold, in talking about Jim Fife, said very close friends, even though it's Iron Bowl, it's Alabama Auburn. But he told the story in the gathering as we were all waiting for the service of Alabama's first trip to Jordan-Hare. And Alabama stayed in Montgomery. And Jim, being from Montgomery, and the first time that go over, offered to take Eli over. He said, we get in traffic on Interstate 85. He said, and we're going slow like everybody else trying to get into the stadium. He said, and the number of looks that we got from fans that saw us riding together to the ball game.
Yeah. Cool. I did not know that. That's cool, man.
Yeah. So, and you know this. I mean, Andy Burcham calls in, and he was one of the first to reach out to Eli. So as passionate as the fans are, and we are, to hear these kind of stories of how they're, just friends and colleagues, and they do the work they do, but I imagine there were some quizzical looks as you look over. There's Eli Gold and Jim Fife riding together to this Iron Bowl. So
that game, that first Iron Bowl was unbelievable. Did you go to that one?
I know. I was, and it wasn't on television. That was the year that Auburn was on probation, and the TV ban, was the way that was dealt with, and so Alabama went in undefeated,
20-30.
Yeah, and it busted. I mean, that's still in the lore of the Auburn fans. So a lot of well wishes and prayers for Eli Gold, and hope to hear him back in the booth soon. Interestingly, I know quickly, what do you call a rebuilding year?
13-2. Second in the country.
That's what Coach Saban called it yesterday on a call-in show. Win 13 games, division champ, SEC champ, and have a Heisman quarterback, and call it a rebuilding year.
And think about it. If they wouldn't have left out early, you'd have like 9 back on each side of the ball.
Yeah, and that's what he was pointing to. He said, early draftees really caused some holes that, helped to create some issues down the line because of depth, as we saw, as injuries piled up and, 15-game season wears on you. So, but that was an interesting choice of terms. 4-7 is rebuilding most places, but
when I saw that, I was like, that's funny.
Not in Tuscaloosa. So Alabama has ascended to #1 in recruiting. We'll talk a lot more about some of these.
We get back.
We can pick up some of those, but
Auburn's picked it up a little bit in recruiting too. I got to give them some credit, but they're not doing like Alabama's doing right now. Alabama knocked out the ballpark in July.
Yeah, they were. And,
it ain't over. That kid, that 5-star from Notre Dame, they think they're going to get him.
And we watched a little bit of this. Alabama seems to come out of the gate slow, and then they finish strong.
He went back to where they're going to come on campus. We're going to watch him do camp, and then we'll go from there. And that's what he's back to doing his thing.
Yeah.
And it's worked out well for him. Just like Jay Michaels, you want something to work out well for you, go to Jay Michaels, have you a great meal, the best seafood, the coldest beers. And I want to thank Jason Stevenson Air Conditioning for the Alabama update. They're #1. Bama's #1. You can't beat them. Nobody does a better job than both those programs right there. Have any kind of issues, day or night, call Stevenson Air Conditioning. They will take care of you. Just like Buffalo Rock has taken care of Bay District schools all these years. Let's take care of them. Football season get ready to get cranked up. Big parties. Hey, you make sure you purchase something. It's got to be from Buffalo Rock. Pepsi, Dr. Pepper. We all Dr. Peppers in here, man. And again, I know you're a pepper. I'm a pepper. We all peppers, baby. Another thing, Dr. Chad Mitchell, 22 years on Bay County sidelines. If you get any type of injury, call Chad. We got him in here every Monday. Southern Orthopedics, Dr. Chad Mitchell. We'll be right back. Auburn Tigers, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
It's the 5-year flyaway from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Ron West, you just won the 5-year flyaway to see the Atlanta Braves.
Oh, good gosh almighty. Oh, I lived there in Georgia. My wife and I was there when they went from last to first in 1990.
Oh, man.
And, you just saved my heart. I'm an old Buford, Georgia boy.
We're sending you home, Ron. We're sending you home.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Thursday morning. That moisture continues to stream in from the Gulf of Mexico. A blend of sun and clouds today. Chance of showers and thunderstorms. The high near 90. And it looks like a south wind about 10 to 15. Water temperature 87. Showers and thunderstorms overnight near 77 degrees. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Great design is timeless, and that's why Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves offers a stunning selection of vintage, antique, estate jewelry on sale now at 40% off. Exquisite Victorian rings, Art Deco diamond brooches, Georgian and Art Deco bracelets, earrings, and pendants. These one-of-a-kind pieces add personality to any ensemble, and now at 40% off. Find your timeless treasure at Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves.
Hi, it's Coach James Hale. Keeping your car looking great is easy as 1, 2, 3 at Blue Sky Express Car Wash. By joining their monthly wash club, you'll get the best bang for your buck. And just 2 car washes, your monthly membership pays for itself. Don't miss the summer deal where all your monthly memberships are 50% off on your first month, starting at $9.99 a month. Become a member today at Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Bat Beach Road, right next to Home Depot. Tell them Coach Hale sent you.
Tiger fans, join us weekday mornings at 8:15. It's the Bay Point Golf Auburn Update on the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
War Eagle. Hey, Martha Kenny, James Gualamar, get to church. Jeremy's asking about you.
Last night, yeah.
He's there?
Doing well.
Dude, I need to talk to him. I got to call him. If you see him,
guy.
tell him I need to get up with him. I got a question for him. Andy Bertram, you did. He reached out for Eli. That was one of the first persons they said that reached out to him. Eli is an unbelievable guy, does a great job at the University of Alabama. Bertram does an unbelievable job. What he did, taking that young man in, that is good. They're good people. They love what they do. You know, Andy, he never got a break. He went football, basketball, baseball. Then he got some time off. He went up to Atlanta. He was in Birmingham, I think, last night. They had a big deal. He was up in Birmingham last night. I'm pretty sure. Did he say he was going there? Was it a Tuesday night or Wednesday night he was going to Birmingham? They had a big Auburn deal. The head football coach, some of the other coaches were going to be up there, big Auburn get-together. And that's probably when he found out everything about Eli. Or maybe he knew and hadn't told anybody. But
you know, that grind of that schedule, because it's not just, staying ahead of what's going on in the program with the boosters.
Yeah.
But it was nothing to see, Auburn in Baton Rouge on a Saturday night and Jim Fife in a pew on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
He had flown back through the night and still made it a point to,
get there.
Get to church.
Why did you look at me when you said that stuff?
Yeah.
I got a headache. No, you're right. I need to get there. But I tell you what, I really like Andy Bertram. Auburn, you talk about recruiting now. What do you think about this? Auburn, I think this is outstanding. Auburn did get a kid to flip. They get a four-star edge rusher, Ashley Williams from Nebraska. This guy's been committed to Nebraska. Brian Harsin and his staff, man, they talked about, hey, we're not going to give up on the recruiting. If they commit, we're going to work harder. We're not going to give up on them. We're going to keep going until they sign the dotted line. And we talked about that here. Everybody goes, well, they're committed. And Jeremy, many times we laugh about it and say, well, that just means the other times they're going to go harder, at least Bama. And Harson's the same way. He's not going to give up, never quit, never give in. Hey, it paid off for him. They got it done. So give Coach Harsin a great job. And he kind of envisions Auburn pulling off some more of these flips. He thinks they're going to get some more guys to flip back to come to Auburn. I hope they do. They did it Wednesday, landing at the 4-star Ashley Williams, who has been committed to Nebraska. Heck, man, it seems like it's for a long period of time. You know where he's from? The kid's from Zachary, Louisiana. You know where that's at?
I've been there.
Is it a small little country town? Yeah. But anyway, he's ranked the 350 best player in the nation. He's the 37th best edge rusher in the country. He is from Louisiana, the 18th best player from the state of Louisiana. So Auburn now has gotten 2 edge rushers in the class of 2023. That's pretty good. Auburn has 6 commitments now. Now, don't panic yet, because there's still a lot of good players out there to go get. But we started July. Alabama was ranked, I think, 40th in the nation in recruiting. Now they shot up to number 1. A&M is not knocking out of the ballpark yet, but then again, they just went and got the number 1 linebacker in the country, so they're coming on. So maybe this is a sign for good things happening for Auburn. One good thing about Auburn, when they have that big cat weekend, it always works out really well for them. Williams said he attended the big cat weekend, said that he had a really good time there, and after that, he knew that Auburn felt like home, and he was going to be going playing for the Auburn Tigers. All right. Other news with the Auburn Tigers, Auburn quarterback TJ Finley. Jeremy signs with an NIL deal with Amazon. Amazon. That's one of the most recognizable companies in the world. They're dipping, and all these big companies now are dipping into the NIL game, I guess. Amazon signs Auburn quarterback TJ Finley to a NIL deal. And I don't know, Jeremy, I don't know how it works. I have no idea how this works with Amazon and some of the other ones. Remember Mackenzie Milton, the quarterback from Florida State, Central Florida? He is the guy that kind of bridges the gaps between the business and the athletes. So I guess it's through his company or something like that. I don't know all the details. His organization, whatever it's called, the organization that he founded, him and this other guy.
Him in Miami.
Yeah, that's right, the guy out of Miami. So this helps student athletes and business to maximize the NIL arrangements, get the players introduced to people that can help them, and that these people help this business. The business helps them, and it works out pretty well. So congratulations to TJ Finley. He gets the NIL deal. I don't know, Jeremy, will he be the starting quarterback week 1?
I think that's highly questionable. I really do. It'd be real fascinating to watch how this battle emerges over the next few weeks over there.
Yeah. Now, this I don't know how they do it. Don't ask me. I have no idea. Maybe you do know, Jamie. But TJ Finley's value is $125,000. Now, I don't know. That's all it said. I don't know if that's the value Amazon has on him. I don't know if they do an NIL conference thing where they look at all these athletes and think we can make this kind of much money off him. This is what we're going to pay him. All I know is this is what it had printed out. His value is $125K.
Guess we have to figure out whether that's prime, same-day shipping or next-day shipping.
Anyway, in this same little sentence, it said that the best player I think Auburn's got, Tank Bigsby, leads all Auburn players. His value in the NIL world is $475,000. $475,000. So, do you think they've come up with a strategy, or I don't know what the word I'm looking for, that they came up with some kind of list? This is what the player's name is. This is the position, this school he plays for. This is what he's worth.
A net worth is it?
Yeah, they've got that on
potential advertising.
They do have that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what it is.
I've seen them. Yeah, I've seen them where they put their NIL value on there.
Okay.
They do that. So.
All right. So this is right then.
Put a price on his head.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how they come up with it, but they do.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder, Jim, how do they name recognition, position you play, the school you play at? It's all got to kind of factor in.
It's got to be in there. Probably not much different than these performers that you would find when you're, booking these concerts. We've talked to folks, what the contracts will look like based on whether they're rising talent or, So I imagine somebody's out there looking at it because it's going to come down to return on investment. For those folks putting up this money for the NIL deals.
if Auburn gets on the same page, watch out. It's a great job, great school. I'll tell you that all the time. But they got to get on the same page. All the big boosters, everybody get on the same guys. I think the NIL money would go up. I think that's helping recruiting because we all know recruiting is the ugliest thing in the world. They're all using everything against Harrison right now. He's not going to be there. Why would you even consider Auburn? You know good and well they're hearing that
every day.
And that's and really
That's
you can't blame them
recruiting.
for it.
That's
You
how
can't.
they do it.
Yeah, I mean, then Auburn did it to themselves. But recruiting's everything. But I will say this: you don't have to be in the top 10 to win a national championship. Clemson was never in the top 10 before they won that national championship. Auburn won a national championship. They were usually in the top 15. If you can finish in the top 15 in recruiting 3 or 4 years in a row, because it's not exact scientists. I mean, it's not exactly correct. So I think you got a chance. Would you be more comfortable saying the top 10? I say the top 15.
Top 15. I like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got some. If you finish the top 15 in recruiting, you got some good ball players.
Yeah.
Because it's hard for me to believe. Okay, this kid that's out of that little town in Louisiana. What I say, Louisiana? Okay,
Exactly, Louisiana.
we know for sure that little kid. Every one of us that ranked it. We went to his school. We watched him practice. He's number 37 in the nation. The kid over there in Oakland, California. We watched him. We flew out there and watched him, and he's at 30. I just don't see how they get that. I don't understand. I guess they put it in a computer and print it out. Height, weight, hand size. I don't know what they do. Jock size. I don't know how they do it. But to me, it's just kind of ridiculous.
Well, Saban has been about his metrics, that are just almost, you don't meet the metrics, you don't get in.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the baseline there. The other part of this is there's always going to be attrition. You're going to have the transfer portals. You're going to have injuries. You're going to have kids that show a great deal of potential that don't live up to it, and then you have those that maybe haven't fully developed yet, but then they come on late. So just to hear a class being rated, go back 4 years and see what happens, and then you'll get a tail of the tape.
You got walk-ons that come up. You
JUCO transfers. All of those things factor in.
One thing you just said, though, made me think. It's like Eddie, the number one athlete in the nation, okay? 6'4", 215 pounds, playing free safety, could jump out of the gym, could run like a deer, knock your head off. But he got in trouble. That's things you can't predict. Right. Him and about 5 other guys got in trouble. Only one survived it and made it back to Bama and did something with it. The rest of them, and they all were unbelievable players, making the wrong choices. One thing you said too, Jeremy, the transfer deal, Saban said the other day that, Tommy, they go back and they've already done their self-evaluation. They've also gone in and looked at every team they're going to play. They break it down. It's crazy what they do up there. But he's got a huge staff, so it's not as hard as you think. But everything's broke down, left hash, right hash, middle of the field, first down, second down, third down. What do they do? What are their tendencies? They got all this done. They looked at the personnel. They know what's got coming back. He goes, but this year, this is totally different now. He says, we knew what to prepare for. We knew what they had. And now with the transfer deal, what's that team going to be like now? Right. Are they going to be better? Are they going to be worse with the transfer? It's the unknown. It's the unknown.
That's right.
Like what he feels like the guys that they've got brought in, the 5 they brought in, are going to really contribute to the football team and make Alabama better.
Right.
But you don't know that for sure for the other guys.
Immediate impact. Jameson Williams. Huge.
Oh, my God.
Saban wouldn't have taken them if they wasn't going to make an impact with this team. Especially a transfer guy.
And you're right, Jeremy. He's got a way. If you're not a certain height, a certain weight, and certain speed, they don't even look at you. Then when they do look at that, then it's got to break down to how much character you have, what kind of effort. They watch that film. If you loaf, you're not going to get the offer to Alabama. Then he wants you back on campus. They want you to go through his camp. And if you pass all that, you get an offer to Alabama. That's the reason it's a little bit later. Now, COVID changed that, but now it seems like he's back the way he used to be.
And he is one of the few that is doing his own personal evaluation of the film. I mean, everything you hear about him, he is neurotic about film study.
Yep.
If the players got the skill level, they know they can coach them up. I mean, that's just smart.
No doubt.
I mean,
and if he doesn't give the okay, you don't get him.
Yeah,
I mean, you might be the offense, defense coordinator, and you really want the kid.
Yep.
He sees something better. No, we're going to offer this guy. He's the man, and he's the best that's ever done it. All right, Blue Sky Express Car Wash, that's the best place you can go anywhere to get your car washed. It will look brand new. They do an incredible job. Dr. Ward, you are a wonderful man. Every Wednesday we have him in here. If it doesn't look right, feel right, please go see Dr. Ward. Do not put it off. Jason Kovaleski, Max Fit Sports Nutrition. If you want your child to have an edge, son or daughter in sports, or just want them to be healthier, go by and visit Jason. Spend some time with him. Talk about nutrition, what you should be eating, what you shouldn't. That's half of it right there.
He'll be in here tomorrow.
Y'all can't wait, man. But I'm telling you, he knows what you need to take. He knows what you need to do. Just look at him. He looks like me. He is built really well. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Country music singers.
It's the 5-year flyaway from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Ron West, you just won the 5-year flyaway to see the Atlanta Braves.
Oh, good gosh almighty. Oh, I lived there in Georgia. My wife and I was there when they went from last to first in 1990.
Oh, man.
And, you just made my heart. I'm an old piece of Georgia boy.
We're sending you home, Ron. We're sending you home.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hear that? That's the plumpest, juiciest hot dogs you've ever seen getting their grill on. But we both know what'll make it sound even better. Oh yeah, it's a Pepsi to go with your hot dog. Because when you're chomping on America's favorite meal, relish, mustard, and onions perfectly blending into a crescendo of flavor, there's only one thing that makes everything about that moment better. A cold, refreshing Pepsi. One mouth-watering sip is all it takes to make this whole experience go from pretty good to jaw-droppingly, table-poundingly incredible. Don't believe me? Just listen. See what I mean? It's like music to my ears. And if you'll excuse me, I have a date with the two most beautiful things I've ever seen or heard. Hot dogs. Better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Buffalo Rock Company in Panama City is currently accepting applications for delivery merchandisers, as well as other positions. Please apply online at buffalorock.com/careers. Buffalo Rock Company is an equal opportunity employer. It is Buffalo Rock Company policy to provide equal employment opportunities to all qualified applicants, without regard to race, color, religion, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, national origin, age, protected veteran, or disabled status. That Boot Store invites you to stop by and help celebrate the opportunity to live in the greatest country on God's green earth, the good old USA. That Boot Store is proud to carry the highest quality American-made boots, along with a complete line of Western accessories. Next to Billboard Kia on 15th Street, open Tuesday through Thursday 9 till 5, Friday and Saturday 9 to 5:30. And remember what Joe always says, put Jesus in your life every day. Since 1955, Buddy Gandy's Seafood Market has been providing their customers with the freshest seafood in Panama City. Whether you're cooking something small or hosting a big get-together, Buddy Gandy's has you covered with a variety of fish, oysters, shrimp, crab legs, live blue crabs, a steam bar, and more. They'll even clean your catch for you. Open 7 days a week near the intersection of Beck Avenue and Highway 98. Don't forget to mention 104.3 ESPN for your 10% discount. Visit Buddy Gandy's Seafood Market on Facebook.
Reach out, call up and just say hi.
Give them a call. Phone lines are open. 850-215-6290. The Coach James Hale Show is taking your calls live and local. From the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Okay, I just got a little text here. All right, Jeremy, Tommy, John, these are 10 teams poised for a bounce-back year. Let's see if the experts here agree with this. We'll ask Tommy and Jeremy what they believe. Boise State. I didn't realize they were this bad last year. Who was the coach at Boise State?
Not Harsin.
But he was before, correct?
That's right, yeah.
And he had his recruits there, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Boise State in 2021 went 7-5. Harsin won big there. He leaves. They kind of fell apart, but he did recruit those players right there, so I got to put that in there also. First 5-loss season since 1998. They got 17 starters coming back. Do they bounce back in 2022?
Got how many? 22 stars coming back?
17 stars coming back. They hadn't lost 5 games since 1998. Is that Harsin's recruiting? Or was that the poor decision on the coaching staff that's taken over? Who knows? I think Harsin did a great job there.
All right. They opened with Oregon State, New Mexico, UT Martin, UTEP,
I
San
say
Diego
I say
State.
yes.
Yeah, I do
I
too.
say
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a good schedule.
I like that schedule.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next school. Go Gators, baby. Florida Gators. 5-7 in 2021. They got a new head football coach, Billy Napier. Florida won 29 games in Mullins' first 3 years. 29 games the first 3 years. Last year it fell apart. They go 5-7. What do you guys think? Can Florida bounce back? They got Utah week 1. They got a brand new coaching staff. They got a brand new football facility built. They've got analysts everywhere. Billy Nate, they've opened up the pocketbooks. They got the biggest staff of anybody. He learned from Saban, Dabo. I'm saying yes. I say they turn around. I think Florida's going to go 8-4.
You know, the crossover game is A&M. That's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got Utah.
LSU.
You've got LSU in the other crossover.
Utah, Florida
State on the road. 8-4. I think that's going to be a good year. I mean, anything beyond that, you've really got to be happy about that.
Yeah, when you just mentioned all that, I kind of forgot all about maybe 8-5. 8 wins with a bowl game.
Yeah.
Yeah. 8-5 maybe with a bowl
Kentucky's
win.
at home.
Maybe 9-4.
South Florida's a win. Eastern Washington's a win. Missouri's going to be a win. You know, but you've got to go to Jacksonville. You got to go to College Station. LSU comes to town, but you got to go to Tallahassee. I mean,
Tallahassee.
Yeah.
And last year that was an ugly game last year. Florida State almost beat them last year.
They did.
Well,
that's right, they did.
you get the last game of the season. You got to take in all those injuries and that stuff and what's going on with that. So.
But I tell you what, now week 1 is going to answer a lot of questions. I just got a hunch. I just got a feeling Florida's going to do well in that first game. All right, the next team. So we all agree Florida's going to be improved. Boise State will be improved from the year before. We all agree with that. Bounce teams. Here's number 3. Louisville, 6-7. What do you think?
That
they had 4 losses by 6 points or less.
Yeah, I think that's a little under.
Close there.
I mean, you know,
quarterback's coming back. Cunningham's back. He had a lot of experience. Offensive line.
They open on the road, Syracuse, and then at UCF. That's
really?
Yeah, they're going down to play the Fighting Malzahns. So that could be interesting. And
I
then,
think they're going to win 8 games.
They host South Florida. I got to check South Florida's schedule. I guess
where's FSU play them? Is it there?
FSU.
Do they play them or not?
Yeah, they play them.
And you know they've got Kentucky at the end of the year, and they have to travel to Lexington. They got Clemson.
They were 6-7.
I think it's gonna be tough sledding. You know they'll host Florida State, Tommy.
Oh, okay.
So you're saying no, they're not going to do better?
I Pitt, you know, Wake Forest.
I think it'd be about the same.
6-7.
And Clemson, the NC State. Yeah, I don't.
All right, you got 2 say no. I say Louisville's doing be better. They doing really well.
Would it be better than 6-7?
The number 1 running back in the country. He'll probably play as a freshman. The quarterback, when he's on, as good as anybody in the country.
Yeah,
he should be really good next year. You would think. I think they turn around. I think it'll be.
We could be 7-6.
Then I beat you all that. If it's 7-6, I won.
I could see them 5-7 on that schedule. Wow.
Okay. All right. So remember this, Jeremy.
Yeah.
All right. Texas Longhorns. They were 5-7 last year. Year 2. The first year is the hardest. We talk about it all the time. Stark. He's got his offense in place. He's got his defense set up. He's got his coaching staff. They've worked together 2 years. I say yes. I say they're right. I think it'll be a lot better than 5-7. Week 2, they beat Bama. The sky's the limit. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if they do that, we've got a whole different conversation going on. They'll go ahead and be an automatic qualifier for the playoff. ULM to open, victory. Texas San Antonio's the other non-conference. You look at their conference schedule. It's I think it comes down to Baylor and Oklahoma. I mean, really. So
I feel pretty good against their Oklahoma.
Think they'll be,
Baylor, their defense is so doggone good. And you got a brand new coach at Oklahoma. I think stars. You got Texas. I say yeah.
Sure,
I say they have a bounce back year. Jeremy.
I think they can pull this off. I mean, I'd be very scared if I was Kansas. I'm going to take out some revenge.
All right. TCU, 5-7. What do they do? They fired their coach. They got Sonny Dykes there now. High-scoring offense wherever he's been. Do they win 7, 8 ball games?
I think that's probably a yes. I mean, you look, they're playing Tarleton. Do you all know where Tarleton is? I don't.
I've heard of them.
I think Surfside plays them.
At Southern Miss.
Wait. That's a powerhouse.
No. I'm sorry. SMU, the other SMU.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Southern Methodist. At Colorado. So, and then you get into the Big 12 play in the round robin. It could happen.
Yeah, I think they're back. I think they'll bounce back. They'll be better.
But Tarleton beats them. It's over.
I think we're all going to agree on the next football team.
Stephenville, Texas. Tarleton.
Okay.
There is a school. I thought
we were talking about those jamborees earlier today.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. I like for FSU to play them.
All right. Southern Cal, 4-8. They got a new head football coach. They got 13 all-star brand new football players. Oklahoma's quarterback Williams is there. They got the best receiver in the country from Pitt, Addison. They got Oregon's running back Dye. They got Alabama's linebacker. They got, you name it, they've gotten it. Yes.
Paid the best.
They're going to be good.
Be
I won't be shocked they make the playoffs.
Yeah. You know, Rice to open. Fresno State's the other non-conference. Of course, always the annual matchup with Notre Dame. I think they win that one at home, last game of the year. I don't see much in the way of USC. I really don't. Maybe
either.
The trip up to Utah, potential trap game.
I bet they beat them.
But we'll know more about Utah.
Let me ask you this, Jeremy, Tommy. Who's got the easier path to a playoff? Southern Cal with that schedule or Clemson? I think Southern Cal's got a be easier path than Clemson does.
I think Clemson may actually have the easier schedule. They're comparing. Here's the Clemson schedule. In Georgia Tech, W. Furman, W. La Tech, W. Wake. NC State, biggest game of the year. Boston College, they've got to go to Chestnut Hill. Florida State could be a big one. Syracuse, they do play Notre Dame in South Bend. Louisville, Miami, South Carolina.
Doesn't Clemson come to FSU Tallahassee this year?
Let's see. Yeah, Clemson is playing in Tallahassee.
Wow. All right. I heard what you said. So Southern Cal really only has to beat Utah
and Notre Dame.
And Oregon, Notre Dame. Three teams.
3 games.
So you're saying Miami, Florida State, NC State are weaker than Notre Dame and
it's interesting.
Oregon.
Clemson and USC have a common opponent in Notre Dame.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what's easier or not. I guess you're right though. I guess the Utah was in the Rose Bowl last year. They had a good team. Well, I don't know. What do you think? Who's easier?
I think probably Clemson.
Okay. All right. So you're giving a lot more love to Oregon, and you're giving a lot more love to Utah compared to the ACC brothers that you have here. Mm-hmm. Man, you both are mean. All right. I will flip mine and go, you're right.
Of course, Clemson could lose 3 games.
Yeah.
It's a big year up in Clemson.
Yeah.
With new coordinators, both sides of the ball. All right, the next team we're going to look at, we all agree, Southern Cal, watch out for them. They're going to be really good. Washington, 4-8. 4-8. And they would have to be better. You would have to think they're better. The coach has got another year under his belt. Washington's always got good football players. They usually have a good ball club. They got an easy schedule compared to most people.
Well, let's look at it. Kent State, yawner.
Yep.
Portland State. Michigan State. That could be one to watch. And then they get into the conference and round robin that. So, yeah, they should do okay.
All right, so we agreed on all
better
of them.
Better than 4-8.
The only one we didn't agree on was Louisville. I think Louisville's going to be a lot better, and you guys say no.
I'm surprised they don't have FSU on that.
You know
That's
what?
not good.
I was kind of surprised at that. Well, we're not through yet.
Maybe they're not. Oh, you got some more?
LSU, Fighting Tigers, 6-7. LSU made a bowl game, got beat. I got to give them credit. They went and played. Jimbo Fisher did not go play. I thought that was sorry.
I did too.
That really did. LSU is in the West. The schedule's brutal. Week 1, they got FSU. They got Florida. Alabama, A&M. They're scared. Auburn. They got a tough schedule. But I'm going to say they're going to be better than 6-7.
Yeah, they'll be better than 6 and 7. UAB.
They'll be 7 and 6 this year.
Look, they've got three gimmies. Southern, New Mexico, and UAB. They're halfway there.
Yeah. So they'll be improved. They got to beat LSU. They got to beat FSU. To have a kind of year he wants, they've got to beat LSU.
That'll be the big tail for them.
And FSU's got to beat LSU.
Yeah.
You know, that's a big game for both those schools right there.
Really is.
All right. The next team is, how much time we got? All right, we got 30 seconds. Got to take a break. We got to talk about North Carolina and Penn State, and then we'll be done. Jeremy, you got to go?
I'm going to slip out here, Coach.
What do you think? Will NC State, North Carolina be better than 6 and 7? Will Penn State be better than 7 and 6?
North Carolina's going to be close to 6 and 7. Penn State, all comes down to what happens on the plains.
Okay. All right. That was a political answer. That was not a yes or no. Anyway, all right, let's talk about some of our next Thursday?
Yes.
All right, buddy. Thank you, Jeremy.
All right.
Hey, be careful. Where's mine? All right, let's talk about some of our great people, Tommy. You know about all of them. You know about Chuck Tucker, how well he does. South Oak Title and Closing, all real estate needs. Go see Chuck. Guy's incredible. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, happy hours 4 to 7. Go try them. You'll absolutely love them. I promise you that you'll love them. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. We'll be right back. Oh, my goodness. Wait a minute. Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road. Are you kidding me? The best barbecue, the best turkey, you name it. Rudy's Barbecue, not even. They knock it out of the ballpark. They're number one. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Hello, Pat. The first time I ever saw you in person, you were in Jacksonville. I showed up with a sign that said Pat from Warner Robins, and it got shown on TV. We had some short conversations while y'all would go to commercial, but that was the first time I saw you in person, and I've been in love with you ever since, Paul.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, weekdays 6 to 10 on 102.1 and 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Thursday morning. That moisture continues to stream in from the Gulf of Mexico. A blend of sun and clouds today. Chance of showers and thunderstorms. The high near 90. And it looks like the south wind about 10 to 15. Water temperature 87. Showers and thunderstorms overnight near 77 degrees. This weather forecast has been brought to you by KHS and Associates, your source for affordable health insurance. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Swampy Jack here. I've traveled the world for decades and brought my most exciting adventures to Panama City Beach. Encounter the 25-foot-tall Swamp Ape. This indoor scrambler ride is synchronized for a multimedia experience like you've never felt. Put the pedal to the metal, racing around the Marrakesh track in electric go-karts. Supercharge your cart with special power-ups for extra speed or to sabotage opponents. And if you're hungry, grab a meal at Swampy's Cantina or enjoy an ice-cold beer. This and more at Swampy Jack's.
Tired of being overcharged each month for health insurance or finding out you still have significant out-of-pocket costs from copays or deductibles when you do go see the doctor? Hi, I'm Kevin Shady with KHS & Associates. Our independent insurance agency has helped individuals, families, and even small business employees lower their health care insurance costs with no copays, no 80/20 coinsurance, and no deductibles unless you're hospitalized overnight. Call or text us at 502-386-1128. That's 502-386-1128.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm not prepared. I really am not prepared at all. I hope you won't judge me on one email I sent 10 years ago.
My apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Live from the J. Michael Studio.
Not after spicy or foosable!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Do it, James Brown. Woo! I love that song. Yeah! I don't care. Jeremy Pridgeon has left the building. Him and Elvis are gone. Whoa. I guess Jeremy's calling right back in. But anyway, Jeremy said that the Penn State situation would be the Auburn game. If they win that, they would be much improved. I kind of agree with that. Well, let's look at that. We got Michigan Eddie on the phone. Michigan Eddie, we'll let him join us. Michigan Eddie, how you doing this morning?
Gold Blue Truck Series representative. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
What are you on? Because I want some. I mean, USC can do no wrong in your eyes. They're like Ohio State. They're like your new Ohio State. I can't wait till Lincoln Riley falls on his keister. Can't wait.
Listen, Michigan Eddie.
Schedule.
They went out and got the best of the best at all these different positions, man. You can win with that. And when you don't play anybody, it's even better. Hey, listen, we'll get back in a minute. Wait a minute. I want you to listen. I'm going to get your opinion on these other two teams, and we'll go back. We'll go back in our broadcast. But right now, let's go ahead and finish this up. North Carolina, they were 6-7 back in 2021. What happens this year? Will they be better? They lose the quarterback. He's gone to the NFL. What do you think? Will North Carolina be better or worse in 2022? Tommy, what's their schedule? You got their schedule?
Yeah. Gosh, what did I just do? They got Florida A&M.
Yep. Win.
Appalachian State.
Win.
Georgia State.
Win.
Notre Dame. Loss. Virginia Tech.
Not sure about that one.
Could be one. Miami.
Not that one.
Duke.
Win.
Pittsburgh. Loss.
I'm going to go win.
Virginia.
Win.
Wake Forest. Georgia Tech.
Win.
And NC State. Loss.
So I got them being improved then.
I got them being 7-6.
Yeah. No, I'm going to give Matt Brown, my former coach, I'm going to go he's going to win 8 games. Might be a bowl game.
He needs to win because if we don't win this year, he's going to retire.
Yeah. I think they'll be improved. I think they win at least 8 games with a bowl win. What say you, Michigan Eddie? Better or worse?
I say staying and watch out for that App State game. Don't be surprised if App State or Georgia State surprises
I think App State's overblown because they went up there and played a weak Michigan team and beat them.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Golly. You got my blood pressure up today, Coach. And I just started my day.
All right, this one you're gonna really help us a lot because you really truly know about this league, the Big Ten. Penn State last year a disappointing 7-6. They were 5-0 at one time, ranked 4th in the country. Then the quarterback, Sean Clifton, he goes down, he gets hurt. They lost some close, not real close, but they lost some ball games. They lost to Ohio State. They lost to Michigan State. Will Penn State be good in 2022? I'm going to go ahead and say yes. I think they'll be better than 7-6. Am I right or am I wrong?
Who's their non-conference schedule?
Who's there?
Tommy's looking it up.
Okay, we got Penn State plays Purdue. First game. Ohio, second game.
When?
Auburn, the third game.
Auburn's third.
Central Michigan, that's one of the ones.
Yeah,
that'll be one. Northwestern.
That's another win.
Michigan, they'll probably beat Michigan.
That's an easy game.
Minnesota.
They'll beat Minnesota.
Ohio State.
They ain't beating them. That game's at home though.
Indiana.
They'll beat Indiana.
Maryland.
They'll beat Maryland.
Rutgers.
I tell you what, Maryland's gonna be better than people think.
Rutgers.
They'll beat Rutgers.
And Michigan State.
What do you think, Michigan? They're not going to beat Michigan. They're not going to beat Ohio State.
Well, the game at Michigan's at Michigan. I might go to that game. Take the family up for that one.
That'd be neat.
Where's the Michigan State and Ohio State game at?
Ohio State's home. I think they're at Michigan State.
Okay. I'd say 7, 8 wins. 8 wins max.
Wow, really? That's it?
Yep.
Okay.
And it's Sean Clifford, not Clifton. Get your names right, Coach.
It doesn't matter. What was his name?
Sean Clifford, man. Clifford.
I thought it was Clifford, not Clifford man. Clifford. Right?
You guys are driving me nuts this morning. Golly.
You're not driving, are you, Eddie?
And his first name was Paul, not Sean.
Oh, Sean Clifford was the quarterback last
You're going to cause Eddie to have road rage.
I know it. No, I think Penn State will be better. I really do. I say at least 8 wins. At least.
They play at Penn State.
The Auburn games, like Jeremy said, the Auburn games are critical. They beat Auburn. A lot better year. They lose. I don't know. But then again, they were 5-0. But when your quarterback goes down, that's hard, man. It's hard to overcome. Yeah. All right, go back. No.
Hey, where's the game at? Auburn or Penn State? At Auburn.
At Auburn.
That's a loss. Auburn's going to win that one.
You going to get me a ticket to that Michigan-Penn State game? I'd love to go to a Michigan game. I'd love to see that stadium.
What are you going to do for me, Coach?
I'm letting you talk.
It's October 15th.
Yeah, you'll let me buy
When is it?
spaghetti at J.
October
Michael's,
15th.
right?
October 15th, Penn State at Michigan. That'd be pretty cold. No, it won't be that bad then, will it?
Okay.
You want to go?
Yeah, it'd be
You
cold.
want to go?
It's kind of hard to do.
I'd love to go. Who's Bama play that
Because
week?
one caller can't hear the other
Who
caller.
cares?
But
Who cares who Bama plays?
Hey, any of the other ones we talked about that blew you away? You thought we were crazy?
Your love for USC's off the charts, man.
I think they're back. I think you're sleepwalking if you don't think they're back. We got another caller.
Yeah.
Let's take this caller.
Okay, just tell Eddie to hang on.
Hey, hold on a minute, Eddie. Listen to this. Good morning.
Hey, Coach, this is David Beck.
Hey, David.
Hey, I got a question. What is the oldest college player has ever played in the college season?
Dang.
Do you know?
No, sir, I don't.
I was kind of curious about that. I mean, I know Chris Winkie, he was what, 27, 28?
Yep.
There was a military guy that came back and played somewhere.
Yep.
There was like his mid-40s.
In their 40s.
Yeah, and I can't remember what school it was with. Yeah, it was. I remember this because they made a big deal about it.
Yeah, I was kind of curious about that. I was, I was thinking, well, I wonder if the oldest college players ever played college football. I didn't know if he could, if they would walk on. Like this guy's 30 years old, he walked on, he made it.
Yeah.
Got to start.
I know one guy was in his 40s.
Alan Moore, he was age 61.
61?
Yeah. He played at Faulkner University.
Wow. There you go. 61 years old kicker. That's unbelievable. Wow.
That's the only question I wanted to ask. I was kind of curious about all that.
Well, thank you so much for calling. We're gonna have to get off real quick and say goodbye to Michigan. Call back, buddy. Thank you, sir.
Okay, buddy. Y'all have a good day.
Bye-bye. Thank you. All right, Michigan Eddie. We got Michigan Eddie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How much time we got? 1 minute. Okay. All right, Michigan, I'm just telling you, man, the kid they got, Bama's linebacker is a really good football player. He's there. They got the kid from Pitt, that receiver is unbelievable. They got they're loaded. They got 13 all-star football players to come in on one team at one time that have played college football. They're not like true freshmen. They have played in the big leagues. They're going to be good. I don't know what the chemistry is going to be like. I don't know what the coaching staff is going to be like. But you would think with that kind of talent, you would win playing in that league. They're not playing like the Big Ten schedule. They're not playing like in the SEC, so they should be really good.
Well, you said it the best right there, chemistry. How they going to gel with the new coaching staff and all that.
And you can
have all the 5 stars, all the future Hall of Famers on a team.
Absolutely.
That doesn't equate to win.
Absolutely.
Does not equate to win.
Hey, Michigan Eddie, you are the best. We love you, brother, but we got to go. Our time is up. Michigan Eddie, be careful driving. You're listening to the Michigan Eddie, ESPN 104.3 Network. Hey, Big Dave is back in the saddle, and he's knocking it out of the ballpark. That sucker's got more talent. We'll listen to the Underdogs this afternoon. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
For 5 years, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has been the undisputed and still undefeated leader for sports on the Panhandle, with engaging sports talk from national and local hosts, play-by-play with the Atlanta Braves, the Auburn Tigers, college football in the NFL. Plus, we're 850 strong with feeding families for the holidays at Thanksgiving and Christmas. Thanks for 5 years of broadcasting history from ESPN Northwest Florida.